Welcome to Skip versus Ernestine. This is round 52. I'm he, she is definitely she.
Ernestine,
Oh,
not
is she?
Skip. Contrary to what people think, we're not interchangeable.
No, we're not.
Different people.
So we talk a lot of husband and wife issues. We talk a lot of life issues. We talk a lot of pop culture issues, right?
Just issues.
Just issues.
Just talk issues.
And we do talk on camera exactly the way we interact off camera, just for the record. So, some quick comments from you before we get started. This is from Facebook, Roger Lawrence, who says, "You should know by now the wife always wins."
Way to go. Way to go.
I let her believe that.
Right. He lets me believe that. Yeah.
This is from Steve Franklin, I think also on Facebook. "I like this couple and would love to hang out and talk sports with Skip."
Come with us. Come with us.
I think
You
you would like
would.
to just talk sports with
Yeah.
me.
Not all
You
the
would
time.
like that. And by the way, to her chagrin, when we do run into people, if we go to the mall or wherever we're at, everybody always wants to talk Cowboys or LeBron or something, sports, and I don't mind for a few minutes, much to her chagrin.
I don't care. I could care less.
But you say, well, that's my time, and then
I
they
don't
kind of
ever
steal
say
your
that.
time.
I'm the one that always says to you, go talk to them. What do I care?
Because
I'm never like that. I never say that. Don't even believe what he's saying. I'm always the one saying, hey, why don't you, hey, this kid wants a picture or whatever. I always play the publicist.
But I don't mind talking sports with people I
Well,
don't
you
know
should talk
because
to them. It's
they
your life.
they like it and they
Well,
are
that's what
my
they-
life, right?
That's what I'm saying. I've been a
Okay.
publicist long enough to know
Thank
that
you.
is what you do.
This is from Dana Cook, who says, "Love listening to you. My husband and I can relate to both of you. You are both a joy to listen to. Merry Christmas,"
you.
says Dana.
Dana, it's very sweet.
A couple of days late, but thank you, Dana.
You
We
have
got
one
it
of
before.
those too at home.
David Harris says, "I like it when Skip has Ernestine with him. She's hilarious." So I'm not?
He's not hilarious, not at all. I'm the
That's
funny
not
one.
true.
You have the weirdest dry sense of humor. You do not have you have an okay sense of humor. You have a great sense of humor.
Thank you. Finally got
Just
her to admit it.
okay,
This is
not
from
good.
@RealDonkeyKong #1. "I'm going to make my whole family watch this.
no.
Thank you." Well, don't do
Hope
that,
hope they'll hate
Donkey
you forever.
Kong, because
you'll end up with a childhood like his.
you'll wind up with your whole members of your family will be in lifetime therapy if they watch us.
like his
probably,
family
right?
did to him.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. And finally, this is from @RJ Willie. "Skip definitely believes in Santa because he believes in the Dallas Cowboys."
That's funny. I laughed when I read that. I thought that was funny.
Well, RJ, I mean, we did win 5 Super Bowls in my lifetime. I've witnessed us win 5 Super Bowls, so that happened.
Yeah, but at least
That
I
was
believe in
real.
Santa and he brings good things. You believe in Santa and the team doesn't bring
Well,
you
it's only
anything
been
good.
30 years since we even got
Right,
to an
so I would
NFC
give it up.
Championship game.
I'd start believing in Santa Claus again, not the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking of which, why I'm dressed like this,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
I needed to spruce it up for the new year.
I think you look sensational.
Thank you.
I
Thank
do.
you.
I like that. I
Thank
don't know
you.
where you got it.
I don't remember. I got
Which
it
of your
last year.
boyfriends gave that
Yeah,
to you?
right.
Right?
Right. No.
Who
I
knows?
bought it last year and I never wore it. So
She buys things that she doesn't wear for numerous years,
Oh, I
and then
keep
all of a
'em.
sudden she pulls it out and says, "I bought
It's
this
new."
back in 2002."
right, well that's why I don't wear them because I always have something new. I
And
bought this last year.
I'm just the opposite. When I get something
You
new,
put it on immediately.
I just did a show earlier today for Arena Gridiron, and I wore 2 things that I got for Christmas.
Right.
My top and my bottom, my
Right.
pants.
Not me. I would save it for a special occasion.
Okay, well this is
I
a
bought
very
this,
special
I think,
occasion.
on sale last year at the end of the
This
season.
is our post-Christmas looking ahead to New Year's show, and that brings us to our first real question from Gabe from San Antonio. I love San Antonio.
I love San Antonio.
What was the best gift each of you got this Christmas, Ernestine? You're on the hot seat. Best gift. Can you
Let's
even
see.
remember anything that
Yeah.
you got?
He gave me Lululemon, 2
I
really
did.
cool sets of Lululemon,
Thank you.
which I really,
Yeah.
really liked. My sister gave me a gift certificate at my nail place, and she
That's
also
nice.
gave me a $30 scratch off because
Oh,
I said
that's nice.
I like the scratch offs. Give me a
Okay.
scratch off. What else did I get? I don't remember that. I got something very nice from Wayne.
You
Something
did.
beautiful from Wayne.
Well, Lil Wayne, we're going to talk about a little visit we had this past Saturday at
Wayne
Wayne's.
always gives great gifts.
He does. He gave us great gifts,
some
sort of a his
hearts.
and hers
Yeah.
jewelry.
Hearts.
Yeah. Okay.
You?
By the way, I did go out of my way because you always get on me. I don't buy you anything.
Oh,
So
boy.
this was like an incredible plunge and risk for me. I went to Lululemon. You were in New York,
Yeah.
and I took Hazel, and we went up. We live near Century City Mall, greatest mall in the history of the world.
Good mall. Yeah.
So I took Hazel on a Wednesday night, like at 8
Wow.
o'clock, and it was packed up
Wow.
there. And we went to the Lululemon store,
Yeah.
and so I tried to get a grip on what would you look good in, because you've bought me several Lululemon
Yeah.
sort of
I
workout
like
sort
the
of
Lululemon.
outfits.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, she would look good in
Thank
a lot
you.
of this. And so I tried to mix and match my thoughts.
You
I could
you
try
did
this, I
good.
could try this. And then they didn't have your size. So I said, well, I know what I want. So
Right.
I ordered it.
Oh, really? That was great.
Yeah.
Wow.
I ordered it and got it here. and
Beautiful.
Then
Really
we get
nice
to the
wide leg pant with a crop top that
Yeah.
matches. Then another nice top, hooded sweatshirt kind of thing with a nice
white
pair of pants
with gold.
with cream. Yeah, that was beautiful. You
Thank
did
you.
good.
I did good.
You did.
And
And
you were
even
surprised.
wrapped it. You put it in.
Right?
I told my sister that I gave you tissue paper and bags to put it in, and I gave you a whole thing of tissue paper. Like maybe you take one or two pieces. You used up all the tissue paper.
I didn't know how to do it.
You
I'd never
put
done
like
it before.
balls. There were balls
I don't know how to
in
wrap.
the bag. That was funny.
Which, by the way, brings us to Dave 3124's response.
Yeah.
Skip, man, you can't ask your missus how to wrap her presents. Even I know that, and I am the original Scrooge, says
Thank
Dave.
you. Thank you.
Well, I don't know how to wrap. We did a funny bit for
did
Arena
one for
Gridiron
the show.
where I did one, you're under fire, and they give you the trappings,
Accessories,
you know,
yeah.
everything that you need,
Right.
and they say, wrap this. Well, I don't even know where to start. And I sort of muddled through, and in about a minute,
You did it.
I did okay. But
No,
on
you did,
this,
Lynn.
it's pretty no-brainer, so to speak.
Well, I gave
like
him
you
2
don't need
bags,
a brain.
and then I gave you tissue paper, and I told Joyce,
Well, what?
I was looking for the rest of the tissue paper. You used it all. You made balls on top of the.
Well, then at least you had to
scrunched
dig
up-
it out, so
I
it
am a
made the
dog.
surprise bigger.
Yeah, no, it was
right?
great.
Okay,
I loved
so,
it. You
so
did a
at
good
least
job. A
pat
for
me on the
effort,
head.
and you
Pat
did
me
it,
on the
yeah.
head, like I'm a little dog.
Okay.
Hazel. We're going to get to Hazel
Okay.
in just a
Hazel
moment.
loves wrapping paper.
Okay.
She loves to wrap gifts. She likes to unwrap them.
So here's the truth about my Christmas. I really had a good Christmas because I was with my 2 favorite females,
Oh,
Ernestine and Hazel,
thank
our
you. Thank you.
now 9-year-old Maltese, our daughter. And we set aside about an hour before kickoff on
We had it-
Christmas morning,
we were
which was
watching the
out
clock.
here was 10 a.m. Cowboys at Commanders.
Right. There's
So we actually set aside, we're sitting right here.
Yeah.
And we went back and forth, but it was really a nice time.
We had
and
fun.
I was grateful for the time I had with the 2 of you. Hazel just sort of noses through all
Hazel
the
just loves
trash.
the
and
tissue
she
paper.
does love the tissue
wrapping
paper.
paper.
But it was a nice time, and we have this tradition that's probably over the top and completely over the edge, but we
cares?
buy each other a bunch of cards, you
We
know,
love
like
cards. I'm a
4,
big
5,
card
6,
person.
7, whatever it
8
ends up being.
sometimes.
And we trade cards and then a gift and then a card and a
Card gift,
gift,
card
card
gift,
gift. And
card
we
gift.
just keep going back and forth, and it takes about an hour.
Right.
So we thought we would share just a few of the
of our
cards that we
cards.
gave each
Okay,
other.
This was the one I
This
gave
is her
you. I thought
favorite.
this was funny. Well, it's funny. It says, works a day a year, spends the rest of the year judging you, basically. Spends the rest of the year judging you.
Yes,
So it's true.
he does. That's
One day, and
Santa.
he judges you 364 days a
Yeah,
year.
that's why it's hard for me to believe in Santa, because
Well, I believe in it.
he's
But if
tough.
I'm good, then it's okay. And
He's a
then this
tough
was,
judge.
Skip gave me this card because I have my squirrel Almond, who I
Okay,
love.
she's got a pet squirrel who lives in our
Lives outside.
gated community.
And she just had babies, and she knows me when I walk out. She hears my voice.
She only eats almonds.
She only likes
so
almonds.
she's called Almond.
So Skip got me my wish for you at Christmas, and it was from Almond, and it was very cute. Says, hope you're not freezing your nuts off. And then Skip
funny.
wrote, haha, I made a funny joke, Mom. Thanks for feeding me and my kids. Hope we don't drive you nuts. Almond.
From almond.
And it looks just like almond.
It does
So that
look
was a
just like
good one.
almond. Although you can say every squirrel looks pretty much
No,
the same.
she's got a special look to her.
She does.
And then this was a really good one that Skip gave me, and it says, if Santa were a woman, ... she'd get the job done in half the time with fewer mistakes and in heels. That is
She
true.
would.
That is true. So I thought those.
That's what I
those are
believe.
good.
If Santa were a woman,
Oh, without
it
a
would be
doubt.
so much
because women
simpler.
can multitask without
Yeah.
a problem and do 14 things at once and get
Right.
them all done well.
Right. And then I did special order this card. This is from Hazel
Oh,
to
Hazel.
Mom.
Yeah, Hazel
You
did
can
a few
see
cards.
Hazel
That's
to
very
Mom.
good.
And inside it says, after the
Wishing you Merry
cliche
Christmas, yeah.
and wishing you all the good
Yeah.
things, I wrote, Merry Christmas, Mom, like it's from
Yeah.
Hazel. I love you even when I bite you, because she does bite her.
Bites me
Yeah.
at the back of my legs.
And it's signed Monkey Girl because don't ask why, but she calls
I've been calling her
Hazel
Monkey Girl. I don't know why.
She's
I don't
like
know
a
why.
monkey girl.
She's like a
I
monkey
don't
girl.
know where
she
it came
climbs
from.
up my legs sometimes, so I thought of her like a monkey. I don't know.
She
but
says,
she
"Fly,
she
monkey,
listens.
fly."
I go, fly through the air, Monkey Girl.
I don't
She
know what
listens
that
to
means.
Monkey Girl when I call her.
She does. She knows that. And finally, on a serious note, I got this for
That was this is a
Ernestine.
pretty
You can
card.
see this.
Very nice
Okay.
card.
All right. And I underlined the middle verse of it because it was the most dear to my heart. And it says, these are my holiday wishes for you. May you realize how important you are in the lives of all who know you and care about you.
That's very
Because
sweet.
she is a force, and I wrote to her in the card, not to be too intimate, but you are a force in many, many lives, especially mine.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so
I appreciate that.
I love you.
And I love you too.
There we go. So those were a few of our
Those
cards.
are a few. We got a bunch
There
more,
was a
but we don't
deluge
want
of
to bore you
cards.
with them. But they're funny.
Okay. So
So
now,
that's our card thing.
quick thought from you, because you got angry for the last couple days.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah.
Yes, reading about
It's just ridiculous.
NFL quarterbacks, Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, post online about all the great gifts
they
that they
gift.
give their offensive line. This happens every year, but they post about it.
They post about
Yeah.
it. And so when I read Aaron Rodgers, he gave his crew, or whatever his team, his whatever, linemen,
Yes.
off-road vehicles from Mercedes Motorsport. So he probably got them for free,
might
I
have.
would think, or at a discount. So he has to
He
give the
might have.
plug to those
So you gotta
people.
post to
retailing
plug.
for $19,999 a piece, which I find disgusting. I don't care that he does it, but why do you have to promote it and tell people? That's what I don't get. And then we have Jared Goff gave state-of-the-art golf clubs. We have Brock Purdy. He lined up Sequoias and Tundras and told them to pick whatever they want.
Wow.
Cars that
Well, that's
retail
a
for about
gift.
40 to 50 grand.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow gave Japanese katana swords, okay? And then Mahomes gave bikes, Rolex watches, Oakley sunglasses,
Like,
shoes,
what kind
and
of
also
bikes?
air
Off-road
it
kind of
didn't-
bikes,
Yeah, I'm
or-
assuming.
okay.
Also air compressing attachments for your legs. I don't have a problem. They have more money than God, these people. So, of course, they're going to spend a lot of money. But why do you have to tell people what you're giving them? Like, these should be personal, private gifts, but you're not, because now you're promoting, and you're probably getting a lot of these things for free because
Maybe.
companies will give anything to celebrities if they're going to get a hit from it. I know. I was a publicist. So why do you have to tell people what you're giving your teammate? I find it really disgusting.
I don't know. But I am with you. You're saying that posting it disqualifies the
Right.
sentiment.
I mean, if you're giving somebody a gift, you want to go, you have to tell the world what you gave them so people can say, wow, isn't he a great guy?
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting that gift? Most people don't have the money these people make. These people make millions that most people will never make in their life. And of course, you're going to spend more money than if I go to, Macy's and I buy a blouse for somebody. So I just find it really in bad taste. That's me.
So the Bible says, it calls it alms before men, where if you tithe to your church, if you give to your church, you give to God, essentially, and you brag or boast about it to others, then you have disqualified it, because that's alms before men, where
Why you have to show
you're
off?
trying to show it off, and so it's in the eyes of God, it's disqualified. And that's the same.
But that's the same
same
thing. But that's
idea.
why the things that are wonderful in life are when people donate money and they don't even put their name to it, and people never find out who it was that built the children's hospital or did something, because they
Yep.
don't need the recognition. They just want to do it because it's a good thing to do.
That's true.
So that's what my beef.
So before we get back to your questions, we did mention this past Saturday. We did post about this, but we just posted pictures. We weren't bragging about it. We love Lil Wayne. We know him very well. We know him in ways probably a lot of people don't.
Most people don't.
And that we're just close friends. You can say it's weird, but it's great.
I don't
and it's
think
real.
it's weird.
I mean, we all come from sort of opposite ends of the earth.
Right, but I come from a
but
different place from you, and so.
That's true.
But
And
so what?
Wayne is
Wayne
a
is
genius,
one of the best people
but
that's walked the
he has a
planet.
big, great heart.
He's got the biggest heart.
And we fall into conversations. And by the way, I've loved him from the start because he includes you. Because you could argue, because we're both sports crazed.
Yes, you both
And
are.
we text a lot about sports. Like I've said, I could put together a book of our texts and it would work.
Right.
Because we sort of do, can you top this?
Right.
He's a writer, I'm a writer in different ways. And so we write to each other thoughts that are all about sports and people in sports. But when we go, we talk for maybe 3 minutes at the end of the conversation.
This time we didn't talk about sports.
We didn't talk
really
about sports at
Although we
all.
had the sport TV on with the football.
What we did, it was during the Texans at Chargers game, which
Yeah.
the Texans won. So I'm keeping an eye on it. And I told her, you could quiz me about the game when we
Well, you're
got
always
home.
good at
And I
watching
just
and
absorbed
doing- yeah,
every
you-
bit
you
of it
could-
while
you
carrying on the
multitask that.
conversation.
But most of the time we do when we go to Wayne, we usually
Yes.
talk sports for like hours.
Sometimes. But
The
it's
last-
always big picture where you can interject.
Well, yeah,
it's
but
about
he
people.
doesn't cut me out.
No,
as-
he doesn't
as-
cut
he
you
knows
out.
I know about
isn't-
sports through you.
He's
so,
not condescending to
No.
her or like, well, you
But I have a
understand
different
this.
relationship with Wayne than you have.
She does. Yeah,
So-
she's sort of big
But
sister to him.
we're close in a different way than you're close with him. Mine's not
so-
based on sports.
So he's always, when he says to come, if we make a deal a couple of days before, a week before, whenever, he's always there, ready to go. Some rock star types, they're just,
Well,
they're not
but-
punctual.
No, but Wayne is
okay?
real. So.
He's real and he's always there. But the one thing that's always different is it's always different. And so maybe that morning, maybe even an hour before, he might change, sort of switch signals. So what happened this time was he's got sort
We
of
had to go to a different house
a
that he
getaway
different
place that he
place.
rents up in the Hollywood Hills. And the point was, which we didn't know, he had all of his kids and all of their friends at his main house out in the
Right,
valley
Right.
and up in Hidden Hills.
So he just wanted to escape.
And he
went to a
just had
different
enough.
house,
He'd
which is
been,
fine.
this was Saturday,
Right,
so
so
what
he
was
wanted to be
Christmas?
by himself.
Thursday. So he'd had 48 hours of nonstop mayhem at home.
Right,
and he just
right.
wanted to get away for a little while and have some peace and quiet. And so about an hour before, he texted and said, hey, I'm at the other place. And he
Right.
gave me the address.
Right.
We were going to go there back in August, and something
Right.
came up where there was a death in
Something
the
happened,
family,
yeah.
and he had to go. Anyway, so the point was he texted, I think this is closer to you
Right.
guys. Okay? Well, as the crow flies, it is closer. But if you know LA, it takes longer to get from here to up into the Hollywood Hills than it is from here. We're on the west side of LA, Century City. To get from here out to the valley, at least it's kind of a straight shot. You
Right.
take Olympic Boulevard to the
Right,
405
right, it's
North,
just
and then you take the
whatever, it's
101.
easier.
And you can, on a Saturday with sort of minimal traffic, you can make it in 35, 40 minutes. And we've gotten home sometimes in 35 minutes on a Saturday. But this is a battle
Well,
to
'cause
get
you're
up
going
there.
up into the mountains.
You're going up into the mountains, so we have to fight across First, we have to get up to Sunset Boulevard, the notorious, you know,
Right. It's a
heralded Sunset
well-known
Boulevard, right?
street. Yeah.
And you have to go through, if you know the old Jan and Dean song, Dead Man's Curve, you have to go through Dead Man's Curve on Sunset. So the traffic's open
winding.
there.
It's very
but it's
windy.
windy, crazy. And then you start to hit into Beverly Hills and it starts to slow down.
Right.
And then you hit into West Hollywood and it really slows down. And then you have to go up to Hollywood Boulevard and across, and it gets very congested. And then all of a sudden, you get to one of the canyon roads and you have to go up a canyon road.
Right.
And we were not prepared for what was about to happen. The road up to this house was a 2-lane that is
almost like a
essentially,
dirt road.
but it's essentially a 1-lane
Yeah,
road.
it's wide enough for one car.
It's a 1-car lane road,
Yeah.
and cars are
There's
constantly passing.
And it's a both, yeah, two
And-
ways,
and
but it's
it's-
really meant for one way.
It's like they talk about the street in San Francisco, the crookedest street in the world.
Yeah.
Well, this is the crookedest road in the world, uphill. And it's just
It
like
is
this, up.
treacherous.
It's very treacherous,
You just pray that there's not another car
coming around.
because you're going 20 miles an hour, but you hope somebody else isn't going 70 miles an hour down the mountain.
Because there are blind curves where you
It
suddenly go
is-
around a curve and there's a car. And you have to try to squeeze over, and there's nowhere to squeeze
It's
because
just you're on the
it's either a house cut close to the
Yeah.
street,
Or
or
there's like a
it's
cliff.
just a forest, you know,
shared
like yeah,
drop.
right, where you just
It was
close
just-
your
I
eyes
was
and
nervous.
hang on to the wheel that you're not going to scrape over there or scrape the car.
I just was afraid of a car coming towards us.
It's crazy.
That was really scary.
So we weren't sure how high up we were going to
Kept
go
going,
until we
kept
got to the
going.
correct street. And for some reason, you put in ways, but then didn't hit the voice. So
Right, but I was reading the directions.
she was reading, and then she'd say, "Here, well, I'm trying to drive, and
No,
I'm
but
hoping
you
somebody
asked me, so there was like 3 directions left. You said, why can't they say it? I said,
just
well,
say
what's
it,
the
just
difference?
hit the voice."
I'm saying it. I was the voice.
Okay, but you can't hold it in front of my
No.
eyes and say, "Read this,"
But what's
while
the
I'm trying to
difference?
do Dead
Right.
Man's Curve going
Right,
uphill.
but it was, I gotta tell you, that was
It was a battle
I've
to get
driven
up there.
winding roads in my life. That's the windiest road I've ever been on in my life.
Ditto. And then the sun went down while we were there,
Yeah, then we
and
have
then
to
we
come
had to come
back.
back in the dark.
Yeah.
And we just bagged Waze.
Yeah.
Waze is crazy anyway. It's
Yeah,
just
they
like
always
you
take
never
you
know.
weird
and,
places.
and so we're coming downhill in the dark.
Well, it was easier coming down, but going up.
Trust me, when we got home, we were
we were
exhausted.
like wiped out from
just from
fear.
the stress of
Fear
it.
factor.
Just the literal edge of the cliff
Well, because you're
stress.
on, then it's a sheer drop.
Yeah.
Off the side of it.
Yeah.
Like it's like Mulholland Drive.
It's not
I
quite
mean, the view
up
you
to
could
Mulholland.
see.
The view
is
great.
incredible.
It's incredible.
I mean,
Spectacular.
You see the entire Los Angeles, but
But they said up there in the hills, you're going to have coyotes, you're going to have bears, you're going to have mountain lions, you're going to
Yeah.
have wildlife.
yeah, I don't think I could deal
Okay.
with that. But
But it was quiet.
oh my God, it was so peaceful. Anyway,
It was kind of creepy quiet.
it was quiet.
Yeah. But as usual, we had great
Yeah, we
conversation.
had fun.
It went all over the map. And only at the bitter end, at the very end, did we talk about sports.
You did.
Which I was hoping you'd notice that we didn't talk about sports.
I don't care.
We talk about weird life things. We
Yeah,
just go
deep life.
deep.
Anyway,
Deep life.
So that was fun.
We love you, Wayne.
We love Wayne.
Okay. So that brings us to New Year's Eve, why you're so festive.
Festive.
And it's interesting, we're going to get to some of our Christmas movies that we watch, but one of them, which I thought I'd seen but I hadn't, was Christmas with the Cranks, which you had in your head was a great Christmas movie. You put it on your list.
I liked it.
And I think you had seen it and I never had.
Yeah, I guess
think
I
we
saw
were
it.
we went to Deck the Halls on 42nd Street
Yeah,
in New York City.
That's funny too, with Danny DeVito and
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick.
But this is very different because this is from a John Grisham novel or short
I
story.
didn't know.
about skipping Christmas.
Yeah.
And so the premise, what's his name, Tim Allen?
Tim Allen and Jamie Lee
and
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Just a man and wife, and their daughter is away, and they decide we're just not going to do
Because they
Christmas
live in a
this
cul-de-sac that
year. Yeah.
everybody has to do the same
think they're
thing,
in
decorate the
Chicago.
houses and
Yeah.
look the same way.
Okay,
and-
so they try in the run up to Christmas to not do Christmas
Right.
because they're going to go away on a cruise and they're going to save the money from all the money that you have to spend
Right.
for Christmas and put it into the cruise. So no tradition can be met because you have to keep saying no because
Right.
you're trying to save money. So you're going to give no gifts.
Right.
You're not going to buy from the Boy Scouts the Christmas tree.
Right.
You're not going to put the big giant snowman up that everybody has.
But everybody in the complex,
They're
in
all
the-
putting
in
their
the
snowman up.
cul-de-sac
Yes.
had it, and then
Yes.
Dan Aykroyd was in it, and they come around asking, when are you putting up Frosty?
Frosty.
And it gets to the point they have to hide in their basement
Yeah.
because they're trying to avoid these nightmare nut people that are saying, hey, you're the only ones that don't have the Frosty up. Mr. Frosty. It was funny.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
The
It was
premise
funny.
was very clever and creative because it's a good one. It's
Yeah,
real.
It's funny. The pressure.
The pressure to spend leading up to Christmas is extreme, but I didn't think the movie was, the lines were
Oh, there were
silly.
funny parts
They were just
when
silly.
a
But
lot
whatever.
of people have seen it.
They were
I mean, a
insulting.
lot of people have seen it. When Tim Allen goes and gets the sunburn, and it's funny. And Jamie Lee Curtis, it's funny.
The
Anyway,
premise
I thought it was hysterical.
works. The reason we bring this up is now we're to the run up
Pressure of
to
New
New
Year's
Year's
Eve.
Eve, and for that matter, New Year's Day. But the point is that we don't really do New Year's Eve
Oh.
the way you're supposed to do New Year's Eve. So fire away.
Well, I have done New Year's Eve. I have, because I'm a New Yorker,
Yeah.
I have spent at least 3 or 4 times in Times Square doing New Year's Eve with different friends, and I've been there watching the ball fall. And to me, I mean, people want to do that. They come from all over the world to go watch the ball fall on, in Times Square. Once you do it, you realize it is not fun because they corral you into a pen at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You cannot leave. You cannot go to the bathroom. There are cops all around because they can't have people out of that pen for security reasons.
Yeah.
And it's usually freezing. Like I read this morning, it's going to be freezing the morning of, for Times Square, New Year's Eve. You're frozen and you're in a pen with all these people and you're like a sardine. It's no fun. So to me, been there, done it. I would never do it again. It's amazing to watch the ball fall, but the pressure that people put on you, what are you doing New Year's Eve? What are you doing New Year's Eve? I don't want to do anything. I want to be away from people New Year's Eve. I want to be in my sweatpants. I want to not do anything. I want to watch a TV or movie. And I also, for me, I find it's a very sad night too. Because
Really?
well, my mother loved New Year's Eve. We would watch Guy Lombardo with Ringing the New Year's, and it's a very sad day and night because it's the end of a year,
Yeah.
whether it was good or bad, but also you remember things and it makes you feel sad, and now it's another whole year and your life is going on, and now it's your expectations of, I have to meet these expectations if you make resolutions, which is another forced thing.
Yep.
And there's a sadness to it. It's like, it's the end of something and the beginning of something, but the pressure makes you feel sad. Oh no, can I live up to what expectation I'm putting on myself?
Okay. I am with you about New Year's. I've also been there and done all of that. I've been to many New Year's parties, and once upon a time, pre-you, with a girlfriend of mine, she wasn't my girlfriend, just a girlfriend, we went to 42nd
Times
Street,
Square.
just Times Square, to watch the ball drop. And they herd you into these pens, and we looked at each other, and I said, it's freezing out here. I just don't know if I want to stand here for 4 hours until the ball
terrible.
drops, because you can't go to the
Well,
bathroom.
when we lived on 54th and 8th,
Yeah.
I would go to get food at noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon for that night to
Yep.
bring it in. And the cops are already out and they're trying to do their job, and there's
they
millions
do
of people.
an incredible
and,
job.
And
They-
I remember having
okay.
2 confrontations
She
that
did.
two
She would get
cops
into it.
trying to get back into our building, which is right in the middle of where they pen off. And the cop, I show him my license. He's like, no, you can't go in there. I said, I live there. No, you can't go in there. I said, what are you talking about? And we got into a fight, and it wasn't because of this other cop coming over and said, let her go in. She lives there. I said to her, you know, don't talk to me like that. I live in that building, and they don't care. They just are, their mission is keep people away. Lock them up in that thing, and that's it. So I didn't have good experiences, even living in that, on that street.
Okay. So I don't want to get too deep and personal and be the party pooper about this, but New Year's was always hard for me because it's the night everybody gets drunk, right? It's the idea
Well,
is
that's another thing.
let's just get
Shit-faced. Yep.
And so my childhood memories that stick with me, or I've told you this before, but my parents used to throw a party back in our little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house as they were coming up with their friends in the world, and they would have, I don't know, 4 or 5 couples over, and they would do it up, and everybody would just drink, and my parents both turned
Alcoholics.
they fell to the bottom of the bottle. And so my earliest memory was they invited me into the party at 3 and said,
3 years old.
3 years old, yes. Not 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 years old, and said,
take a slug.
here, take my dad's like, here, take a sip of this.
Right.
And I'm like a party trick.
Right.
And it was Jack Daniels and Coke or something, I don't know, but it was Jack Daniels. So it's hard liquor. And obviously a little kid, if you sip it, you're going to do bitter beer face, and you're going to run to the nearest sink and you're going to spit it out because it tastes like,
right, it's foul.
I don't even know castor oil, but whatever castor oil tastes like, that's how bad it tastes to a kid, right?
Yeah.
You definitely have to develop a taste for
Foul.
it.
Yeah.
And it didn't humiliate me. They got a great kick out of it. They laughed, but it stuck with me. And then I once tried to, in college, my girlfriend at the time and I tried to throw a big New Year's party at our different house. And my mom was there, but she was having all kinds of alcohol problems. So she said, I'll serve for you tonight. And we had a number of couples over. And she came in and she was just like sloppy drunk, where they'd never seen her like that.
Right.
And she was La Vida to them. And it's like, La Vida, what's wrong with her?
Right.
She's had a...
Right, a little tipsy.
She's dropping the tray and she's just, crazy. So that wasn't cool. And then I've been to so many parties that the bottom kind of fell out because everybody's kind of just like shit-faced, you know, like, right? And,
Well,
and it
but
never
I didn't
lived
come
up.
from a family that drank, but
No.
our New Year's Eves, it wasn't like that.
No.
You know, we had just...
But you went to parties when you
I've
were
been
an
to
adult.
parties as adults, and I mean, I did drink. I don't drink now, but I did drink, but I never got drunk like that.
But I think we both consider it like amateur night, where you
I just don't want to be out on the street
Who
with
wants to
crazy
be
people
out?
driving.
It's too
And even if
crazy.
you're,
It's
when
too
I lived in New
dangerous.
York, walking on the street is dangerous.
It's
And there's
dangerous.
people that are out of their minds, and I don't want to deal with it. The one thing I have to say about New Year's Eve, Times Square, within 30 seconds of that ball falling, they clean up those streets.
They
You don't
do.
even know
It's
that there was
incredible.
ever
It's
20
just
million
incredible.
people in that city.
That is true.
They have the best cleanup crew I've ever seen.
Yep.
They're coming in, there's not one piece of confetti left.
So we do like to sit on this couch
Yeah,
and
and
watch
watch-
the ball fall,
yeah.
but you can watch it live
Yeah,
on television.
I'd rather watch it
It's going
like
to be
that way.
at 9 o'clock here as opposed to midnight.
And
But
that's how I celebrate.
that's
9
how
o'clock
we
here.
celebrate here. And usually by midnight here, we're pretty
to go to
much ready to
sleep.
go to
I've
sleep,
had it.
right?
Yeah.
But I agree.
The forced and the resolution stuff then comes into play.
But it is, to your point about it's wistful. It's a wistful night because it's what was and what is
yeah, and
to
you
be.
think about how life
Yeah.
comes and goes, and with every year, your life gets older, and you get older, and there are, you know, it's like the Don Henley song that he sings. How many summers do you have?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same thing. How many
is.
New Years do you have?
Yeah.
And so,
Which does lead to resolutions. You like them.
well,
I don't,
I don't
but-
like them. I ripped this out.
Okay.
Help! I hate New Year's resolutions.
Okay.
3 in 10 Americans set a resolution each year, but very few of us succeed. Okay? I don't have a resolution to lose weight because I can't lose any weight. But my resolutions are more about me, the way I am. So I'm always nice to people, which it's not a curse, but sometimes it's a curse. And I have a habit of always saying yes, even though when I feel I don't want to say yes, sometimes I say yes. So I always try to say, I'm never going to do that again.
Okay, I like that.
Those are resolutions that I have.
Yeah, because too often you meet somebody new,
Right.
and they say, "Hey, could you help?"
Yeah.
And you're always like,
Sure.
"Sure."
And then it's like, oh,
Sure.
God, why did I do that? Or it's just things that I hate about myself that I say, I'm going to change the way I am. But my mother would always say to me, you cannot change who you are.
No.
You always come back to who you are.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be nice. I'm not going to help everybody. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to. You always end up doing it. So, but I try. You don't have any resolutions.
Well, I've always
You're a
said,
perfect person.
no, I'm not.
Oh.
I need unresolutions because I'm too, what do you call me, creature of habit?
Obsessive-compulsive?
I'm obsessive
Oh,
compulsive.
that, yeah.
I'm overly disciplined
Yeah, you never.
to a fault
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I
Never let it
just
loose.
keep driving and driving
Yeah,
and grinding
that's
and
one of your
grinding and
things.
I
Like lighten up.
exercise too much,
Right.
but I like it
Right.
and I'm happy with it, but it's a little much.
Right.
And sometimes it wears on me because now I got to do it again.
Right,
Now I
it
got to
becomes
do it
a
again.
job.
And I do it every day, but I do love it. And I still look forward to it. When we finish this, I'm going to go lift weights and I'm looking forward to it. I've been thinking about it all day. I'm going to go lift weights and I'm going to have fun with it. It's
All
an
right.
escape for me.
Okay.
But I need the unresolution of you need to relax a little
Right.
bit and back off and
Don't
some
beat
form of
yourself up on it.
moderation.
Right, but
you
it's
know,
like
some,
not feeling guilty if you don't do something. Because I'm a list maker and I'm a doer and I
She
never
is a
stop.
list maker.
But sometimes then you get to the point where you're exhausted and
Yeah.
it's like, God, you just got to stop for 1 second. That's why I like Christmas, New Year's. It's the only time in the world that the world shuts down, honestly. All over the world. Christmas to New Year's, it basically, it's the only time of the year people disappear.
Although my whole life, my whole career, I've worked on Christmas and New Year's
Yeah.
and Thanksgiving. And this year,
Well, it's like being an entertainer on Broadway.
Yeah, there's
What do you do? Like in the movie Holiday Inn, they're entertainers, and he says, "What did we ever get when there was a holiday? You do an extra show."
we do an extra
That's
show.
that's the truth
Okay,
in that
so
business.
on Christmas Day, as much as I loved having the hour with you and Hazel,
Yeah.
then at 10 a.m. it
Well, then it
started, and we
starts.
had 3 NFL
Right,
games,
and then I didn't see
all
you for the rest of
duds,
the day.
but we had 5 NBA games that got better and better and better. And I had a show the next morning that was big and good and hard, you know, and I had to be,
Yeah.
I had to prep harder on Christmas
I
Day
know.
than I usually have to prep on an NFL Sunday because there was so much to know. And it wore me out. So that
Right.
was my
So
holiday.
sometimes it becomes a curse.
It
to
does.
It's perfection.
You know, but I do have one resolution for the new year, which has been really for the past 6 or 8 months. I truly believe in that cliche about don't sweat the small stuff.
Right.
So I've started a new show called Arena Gridiron on
Great
Underdog.
show. It's a good show.
Yeah, on Gil's Arena Network on YouTube. And you know, I take everything so seriously,
do.
which is how you have to be
Well,
in
it's
television.
great.
It's all about preparation and concentration. And I do over prepare, but at least I'm prepared.
No, you do.
Every day I'm prepared, and I'm going to help carry the show with my preparation.
Right. But sometimes you
Because-
got to take your foot off the gas.
Okay, and sometimes you got to laugh and just take
Right.
it. Don't sweat the little screw-ups
Right.
because I'm a raging perfectionist. So my new goal is don't sweat the small stuff.
That's good. That's a
Okay,
good one.
just let it.
Right.
There's certain times you have to put your foot down and say that's just wrong, and we're better than that.
Yeah. Well,
But,
yeah.
But from day to day, just let it go. Because one thing about TV, I can't even remember what we did yesterday.
Well, that's
it just
it.
comes and goes.
Comes
It
and
goes in one
goes.
eye and out the other for the
right.
viewers. So don't sweat it. Just
Yeah.
it's going okay. Just let it
Yeah.
go where it's going to go. Right.
That's the truth.
Okay, so
In
that's
life.
my small resolution. So it is now time as we sit on this couch for Skip and Ernestine go to the movies on the couch.
Oh, yeah.
We did do our Christmas movies, so quick sort of reflections on
Yeah.
what we saw. So we did watch Die Hard
Die
for the
Hard, we
79th
did.
time. And
Yep.
it moved me so much, not the actual movie, but just
Yep.
watching it
Yep.
and the experience of, I think we enjoyed watching Die Hard
I loved it.
as much as we ever have,
I would
maybe
watch
more.
it the next night, and
She would have
enjoy
watched it
just-
again.
Just the same.
It is,
Bruce
it's
at his
Bruce
best.
Willis at his greatest, and it was young Bruce still doing moonlighting, Sybil Shepherd,
Alan
having to
Rickman.
literally moonlight to shoot this movie
Yeah.
at night. They shot it in the tower that's right outside this window, Nakatomi Plaza. It's actually a Fox building, but you can see it right there. And he's over there. They're shooting the whole thing in this tower, and big debate about whether it's a Christmas movie or not. We touched upon this
Right.
last week, and then I did a whole video about how it's obviously a Christmas movie because
is.
it's Christmas from start to
And
finish.
there's
All the
tons of
music
Christmas comments.
and the
References.
music is Christmas. It takes place on Christmas Eve, going into Christmas, very early Christmas morning.
But I told you, Macaulay Culkin said they could do Home Alone. They couldn't do Home Alone other than Christmas time, but they could do Die Hard because you could substitute it for Halloween, which I don't agree
What?
with that.
I
That you
didn't
could
see that.
you could put it Die Hard. You could have done it at a different time.
Oh, okay.
It didn't have to be called a Christmas movie. But I don't agree with that. It doesn't have
Well,
the
it
same
just
impact.
works because it's.
Oh my God! It's,
Look,
he's coming to see her for Christmas.
he's coming to her Christmas party.
Right.
They are estranged. They're sort of split.
Right.
He's in New York. She's in LA with the kids. And the villain in this, played by
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, is
team.
he's the Grinch who stole Christmas Eve because he's literally stealing $640 million dollars. They think he's a terrorist with his
Right.
henchmen, but he's a thief and a master thief. And he has a master plan that is thwarted by sort of this hard-bitten New York cop of a Santa Claus who comes down the chimney and saves
Right.
the day. Because if he doesn't show up and become the fly in all their ointment, the entire party is going to die on the roof
Right.
because they're going to blow the roof,
Right.
right? And so I don't know how many people were at the party, 150
Yeah,
people. There was a lot of people. They had a whole orchestra.
Right.
You know, maybe 200 people are at the party, and they're all supposed to die on the roof when he blows the
Right.
roof. And it's going to look like the whole building gets blown,
blown up,
and they're
yeah.
going to escape out the back door with $640 million. Okay, so that's the grand plan thwarted by Santa Claus
Right.
Bruce, right? And his last words in the movie are "Merry Christmas, Argyle," to
Right.
his driver, Argyle. It's just very well done, and
Great movie.
it works on a lot of levels. And Bruce Willis has a speech deep into the movie where he thinks he's a goner, and his feet are just obliterated by glass. He's barefooted, and he makes a speech over a walkie-talkie to his buddy cop friend, and what's his name? Reginald Veld Johnson. And he's great in the movie. And Bruce makes a speech about, could you please tell my wife something I never told her, that I'm sorry. I'm just sorry for the way I treated her.
Right.
And
Oh, it's very touching.
it's very touching, but it's a movie. It's a real life, it's a film. It works on a lot of levels.
It does.
And it should have won some awards, but
should have won.
but the critics didn't know what to do with it. And here's my other quick point. I saw it in the theater when it first opened, just because I was home. I was living in Dallas, but I was visiting Oklahoma City in the summer. It was late July, and it's like a Tuesday night, and my best friend Craig Humphrey says, "You want to go to a movie?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to see this Die Hard. I know anything about
Right.
what it was. It was just an action movie." And my mom said, "Well, I'll go." And so the three of us go see Die Hard, and I'm not expecting anything. I have no idea what it is.
Right.
Well, it's 105 degrees outside, so it was hard to get in the Christmas spirit, but it's weird that it opened in the
now they
heat
would
of
have
July.
opened it-
They
they
should
would
have
have opened
opened
it on
it
Christmas
if they'd
Day.
known the impact of the Christmas theme in the movie.
Right.
They would have
Made it the big.
they would have opened
Christmas
it the
Day
week
movie,
before
or the
Christmas,
Christmas
right?
Day movie. yeah.
Okay, and boom, there you go.
is
And by
great.
the way, we have one quick, it's not quick, but one comment from YouTube from @BazooAlike, who said, I went to Die Hard in the theater when it first came out. My friend and I walked out of there saying to each other that it's the best movie we'd ever seen. And this was only a few years after the original Terminator movie dropped, and we watched that one so many times. Great movie that stands the test of time. In fact, it gets better with each viewing. And despite what Bruce Willis says, yes, it's a Christmas movie. Too many Christmas references set during Christmas for anyone to argue otherwise. It shows up all over cable networks, which it does. It's everywhere on cable during the holiday seasons. It has become part of the culture. Can't change that.
That's true.
Okay, thank you.
That is true.
Okay, we also went back to what's becoming our favorite, which is
it.
Christmas Vacation with
That's-
Chevy Chase.
Oh
And
my God. That is,
it's just,
can't stop laughing from beginning to end.
it's another one where we know all the jokes,
We've seen it a million
and
times.
we laugh. And then we laugh harder, and we laugh harder, and it's just crazy great.
When he's eating, when they cut the turkey, it's so funny. And the squirrel.
The squirrel is funny.
Funny. Oh, it
The
goes
sled,
on and on.
the sled is
Oh,
funny.
that
It's just funny.
from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's not
They're all
stupid
so
funny, it's
good.
just funny
Just
funny.
funny.
Yeah, and he
Cast
plays
is
the
amazing.
goofy, clueless dad, and he's
But
really
it's
good
sad,
at it.
But it's sweet because he wants to give for
He
the
really
family the
wants
pool,
to-
and he wants to get the
He
pool
does.
for the.
He does.
And it depends on the bonus, and
Yeah.
it's just a very relatable, offbeat.
Yeah.
Everybody can relate to it, even though it's really funny. But there is a relatable
Yeah.
aspect to it.
And then I got the year wrong last week when we were talking about A Christmas Carol, and I said the
Yeah.
1951 version. It's 38 with Reginald Owen,
it's
not
great.
Alistair Sim.
That one is
But
great.
it popped up on TCM, and so I
Yeah.
said, we're going to watch this on Christmas Eve.
I love
And it's
that
not
one.
very long. It's like an hour-ish, hour 5. And it's so good.
So good.
And Reginald Owen is so believable as Scrooge. He just
It made
nails
him
it.
look older than he was. 'Cause
Yeah.
he wasn't that old.
He wasn't that old, but
It
June
is so
Lockhart
good.
is in it as a
June
teenager.
Lockhart,
Oh, God.
it's the best.
It's very touching.
It's sweet.
And the uplifting end of it where he escapes the ghost of Christmas future.
And he does right by all those people
and,
that he
and he
treated
rolls
crappy.
up the blinds and he looks down and yells to a little boy passing, "What day is it?" "Why, it's Christmas, Mr. Scrooge." "It is, it's Christmas." And now he turns into
sweet.
Happy
Yeah,
Scrooge.
it's
and
so good. Makes you want to cry.
God bless us, everyone.
Yeah, it is.
It's really good. So we hit
Watch that.
our Christmas trio, triple play,
I have
right?
about 12 Hallmark movies still taped. Christmas
She does.
movies.
She's clogged up our whole
Clogged it up.
catalog, whatever it is, catalog of these.
Yeah, DVR.
But then the other night, late, we didn't have anything to watch, and I think we were about to go to sleep, and then we said, well, here's this Family Plan 2, which is
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, and we watched the first one. It was actually surprisingly
Yeah, it was pretty
interesting.
good. It wasn't bad.
But the premise of the first one was he's a spy, former spy.
She doesn't know it. Michelle
And the family
Monaghan.
doesn't know it, and they live in Buffalo. And then all of a sudden, his past life catches up, and suddenly he has to drag his family into his spy business. Well, now he's out of the closet because they
Right.
know he's an ex-spy running some kind of security company in Buffalo, and then they wind up doing Christmas because they have a daughter in London. So it's a Christmas theme. So we thought, well, let's try
Yeah.
it. You fell asleep about 4 times. I fell
Sorry.
asleep twice,
It
and
didn't really have its
it
good-
didn't deserve a
well,
2.
no.
It didn't deserve a 2. But I will give it on a scale of 1 to 10 a 2.
Yeah, I'd
Right?
give it a 2 too.
Okay, thank you.
Give it a 2-2.
2-2. All right. You had a quick comment on my girl Kim K,
Oh God, it's good.
right? As
Well,
in Kardashian.
I had seen
because you read about her daughter,
the 12-year-old
Northwest.
daughter, Northwest, now has a full grill and her long, long, long nails, and her hair is bright blue and long. And now she has her own Instagram page that is being monitored by her parents, which that's insanity.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
sure they
get
have
it.
their social media team monitoring and
Well,
helping.
I know, but their social media team monitors theirs, and you see what they
Yeah.
put out. So that's a little scary
Yeah,
to
I
begin
guess
with.
so.
I just don't know how you let a 12-year-old little girl have all of this. The grill with all the diamonds and the nails that are gigantic and the hair that is blue, and then the grill is pointed, and it's just...
It's
and
diamond
now-
shark teeth.
Yeah, and now you have the Instagram. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I just think it's insane.
I told you,
I don't have a 12-year-old, but I don't think I would let my 12-year-old do that.
any child of ultra-rich celebrity parents is going to have a very difficult time being normal as an adult. It's going to be hard to survive your childhood.
But you have to have the right parents.
Well, that's
if
what
the
I
right
just said.
Parents,
Yeah.
there are some actors and celebrities and singers and A-list people that they don't let their kids do that. There are some that take
Yeah.
them out of that world. They don't want them in that world.
So
But
then,
these people feed into it because now it just promotes the next generation of the craziness that continues with the craziness that they made.
so then I read that Kim had given each of the 4 children puppies. What kind were they? You said
Pomeranians.
Pomeranians, puppies. Each got a puppy. PETA was outraged.
Like
what,
an accessory.
what are the 4? There's Northwest, and there's
I don't even know their names. Southwest.
there's
I don't know.
Chicago.
Isn't there a
there's
Southwest? Oh, that's an airline.
yeah.
Whatever.
There's Saint.
You know the
another one.
kids'
I
names more
think I
than I don't even know them. But anyway, 4
They
kids.
each get a puppy,
So you
and
just
PETA
get a
was
puppy.
outraged, which I didn't really understand because PETA said we should have gotten them from shelters instead
Well,
of
that's what
pure
they're upset
breeds.
about.
Yeah.
Me, I'm upset that who's going to take care of these
I don't
puppies?
know.
So the help will take care of the puppies,
I'm
and then
pretty sure the
it's
servants
like
will.
back in the day when Paris Hilton made it very chic and fashionable to carry around little Chihuahua, little tiny puppies in your purse. And then what happened was all these people bought them
Yeah.
and realized they didn't want them anymore.
I
And then there
understand.
was a flood of these little animals being brought to the shelters or just being put out on the street. And so I don't get it. I just don't get
To
it.
me, if you raise and care for a dog correctly, it's the equivalent of having a child.
Well,
it's,
one is a
it's
lot.
a full-time job and a lot of responsibility to do it correctly.
Yeah, for one.
Right? For one.
So to have
So I can
4,
see these kids, and I have no idea. Maybe they do it correctly, but you could see where after 2 days they'd say,
Bored
"Mommy,
with
I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore. I don't
4 is
really
a
want
lot.
a puppy." Right?
But the thing that I
At
think
least you could have
is
just given them one.
one
for
to
4.
share. But when someone is 12 years old, now what happens is it's not an isolated thing. Now other little girls see that, and now it's, I want that too. I want to look like her. And that's what is the problem with the
Okay.
world. There you go.
Mommy, the puppy just pooped on the
No,
carpet.
not the puppy. I want.
I know, I
want a
understand. I was
grill.
just going back to the
Oh,
puppy.
and
I
the puppy-
understand. I got it.
Yeah, the puppy pooped.
Oh, man. This is Michael from St. Paul, Minnesota. The Oscars just announced they're moving their telecast from ABC to YouTube. Is this a sign of things to come where everything that's on linear TV is only consumed through streaming?
This is so depressing.
It is.
It's so depressing.
Well,
The
but it's
world
the
is
way of the
just-
world. It's what has happened.
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know why. I guess, well, there's just too much out there.
There's too much.
There's too much out there. I even find myself sometimes when I'm sitting at my computer and I start looking at something, before I know it, it's like an hour later, I'm looking at something else that is another story that I'm reading, that another story. You can sit there and just read endless stories about a billion things. There's no
That's the
end to
point.
it.
Yep. And usually you go from one to another in
Yeah.
about 3.5 minutes.
Right.
Go to the next one.
It's just, you could never leave your house.
Okay, why did I leave Fox and choose to do what I'm doing? Because everything is going away from linear TV to streaming service, right?
I believe, yes.
What happened on Christmas Day with all the NFL games?
Yeah.
Streaming, right?
Yeah.
Netflix, Amazon Prime,
Peacock.
basketball's going to Peacock. Yes, it's just what's happening. It's the way of the world. So sad, but true.
I know.
Okay. David from Buffalo says Since your deep and thoughtful conversation on Rob Reiner and his wife, a lot more information has come up. Wondering if you have any more thoughts on all the new news that has come out, Ernestine. You're
Oh, I
pretty
became
obsessed with
obsessed
this
with
still. Yeah.
And I've been reading everything about it.
Yeah.
I think what didn't come out initially is that they've had, over the last 4 or 5 years, a bunch of calls to the police to come to the house. So the writing was on the wall that there was
So to
something
speak,
with
yeah.
this son that wasn't right. And so if they had to come to the house a bunch of times because there were family disputes and there were issues, and then this was not good. And they didn't see it clearly because they were too close to it.
Too close. They're parents.
And the sister was afraid of the brother.
That's what they said.
And you know, I don't know. And he just was in and out of rehabs and then became diagnosed with schizophrenia over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they put him on a different drug, which then made him act differently, and that's why they took him to the party, because they were afraid to leave him at home alone. It's just a sad, there are no words to describe that, but I read a piece in the Times or the Wall Street Journal that said, there was an article about, is this the way that parents don't see when they have problem children? And I guess it's a widespread issue and problem for parents that have children that have problems. They don't see it.
They see it, but they can't believe it. They won't allow themselves to believe what they're seeing. And you have that little voice in the back of your head that says, danger, Will Robinson, right? Danger. And he's your kid.
Right,
And,
so you love him.
you delude yourself into saying, we're strong enough, we'll make him better. We will speak this into existence. We'll get the right psychiatrist, we'll get the right help, we'll put him in the right program. He's going to be better. And yet, knowing what I now know, I can't believe that they took him to Conan O'Brien's party, holiday party, to start with, and you say, well, they didn't want to leave him. He's living in the guest house, but they don't want to leave him by himself. But do you want to inflict him on others because he turned the party upside down because
that was
he was
the problem. He was just erratic
interfering with
and
conversations, and he was alienating one conversation after another because he was pretty crazy.
Drugged out.
Yeah.
But I mean, what can Conan do if he's your friend and he calls and he says, "Hey, would you mind if I take, if we bring our son?" Conan's not going to say no, so you say, "Sure, it's okay." And if you have that crystal ball that you could see what would happen if you knew then what you know now, I'm sure it would be different. But
Who was it? Bill Hader said he was having a private conversation, some big business conversation with an executive, and the kid butts in and says, "Are you famous? Are you famous? I'm sorry, we're having a conversation here," and he got mad. Okay.
But you have to thank God the daughter wasn't at home. Who knows if he would have done more than just the parents. Maybe. I don't know. Nobody will ever know the answer, and nobody will ever know anything, but it's just the saddest story.
And then you've been somewhat offended, I don't want to put words in your mouth, that the family is paying for his legal representation.
His legal representation, family and friends.
Well,
and they say it's because that's what the parents would have wanted them
They
to
definitely
do.
would have wanted that.
It's just a horrible, almost like a nightmare that you say, I want to wake up from, and for them, they can't wake up from it.
But I'm going to say it again. I've known so many celebrities with children who had problems with their children because, and there's some, the irony is, Rob Reiner was the son of Carl Reiner. I just watched a video with him and Mel Brooks doing their stand-up comedy routine. And Rob turned out fine, turned out great. He made his own way into the field of entertainment. His father was a comedian, and Rob was comedic, but he wasn't, well, I don't know. I guess he played a comedic figure in Meathead.
Yeah.
But then he became a creator, director, and
Force.
and he was
An
genius,
activist.
okay, and an activist. But it's so hard for celebrities' kids to make their own way because in some ways they're expected to follow in the footsteps, but sometimes they're not capable of those footsteps and they got to tread their own new path, make their own way.
Yeah.
And the kid was failing to make his own way, and it made him crazier and crazier. And he flipped.
And the
He
hatred
snapped.
for the parents. After
The
that.
hatred for the parents, just because he probably felt pressured to be somebody he wasn't. And the worst case scenario happened. And it was a horror, a literal horror.
What do
Okay.
you do?
Oh, well.
Well, and on that
Happy
note,
New
there's
Year.
a Happy New Year coming somewhere.
Yep.
And
How about a happier New Year?
happier
How about
New Year
that?
for the world.
That is it
everyone.
for round, what are we up to? 52.
52.
We will see you next week.
Next
if in
year.
fact, next year, if in fact we're still
We'll
speaking,
speak.
and
We're
we
speaking.
hope so.
Stay safe. Have a nice New Year. Peace out.